Hello and welcome back to another edition of the MCR. My name is Mac, and TJ is to my left. I think that's how you're going to see him. Today we're going to talk about the grand old party and what's happening with it. We saw Sleepy Joe give his State of the Union address. Not Lauren Boebert, but Marjorie Taylor Greene stood up and screamed, "Liar, liar." Others, Kevin McCarthy made a couple of faces behind him or shook his head. And he didn't do this, though, behind him or tear up his speech like a child. None of that happened. And you know what? I don't remember any Nancy Pelosi getting any criticism for that either, at least from the left. But Hakeem Jeffries says Marjorie Taylor Greene shouldn't be allowed to be in Congress because she called the liar a liar. What were your thoughts on any of that you saw?
Well, at the risk of swerving off topic here, my first thought was I don't remember a State of the Union address that was so boisterous. I mean, you almost thought you were watching one of those English Parliament ones.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what came to my mind. I did not watch the whole thing. I confess, I only saw the highlights of it.
How could you watch it?
I mean, I did find it comical that MTG, as we'll call her, was wearing that white get-up. Whatever she had on, it was all white.
Well, I'll tell you, my first thought when I saw her, first off, I wish she hadn't done it, because that just feeds into we're the crazy ones, blah, blah, blah. And secondly, I thought she looked like a hooker.
Well,
if I saw her at 6 Mile and Woodward at 2 a.m., I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. But it just, boy, I'll tell you what, I just don't recall a State of the Union that out of control on multiple levels.
Well, the tearing up of the speech was pretty obnoxious.
Yeah,
so let's get into the main topic we're going to talk about here, which is the missing agenda, the missing agenda of the GOP. What's our message? And I say our because we are somewhat forced to be Republican voters, although I don't think either of us call ourselves Republicans. I'm a constitutional conservative, and I think you're that and part mean libertarian, as you like to say. But Sarah Huckabee Sanders gave the response, and I heard it was pretty good. I'll confess I didn't see it, but all she did was point out where Biden was wrong, and there's an opportunity there to show the difference between us and them. And she did say, it's crazy versus sane, which is of course true. Any thoughts?
Well, I think she used the word normal, but
yeah, normal. That's what she said. Crazy versus normal. She actually said they were cray, as I heard it.
And they didn't like being referred to as being crazy. But boo-hoo.
Well, of course they don't, because they are crazy. Anyone else would look at their behavior and say, "This is crazy." Some of the stuff they're talking about doing and what they're doing.
I think she was specifically referencing the craziness of the whole transgender thing, and because 3-4 years ago, this was not on the radar.
No, they're going after the kids. It's pretty clear to me. They want to indoctrinate them with this confusion, chaos. I mean, if you don't know if you're a boy or a girl, you're going to be pretty confused about pretty much everything, I'd say, after that.
I mean, think about it. When since we're talking about craziness, even that last woman that went for the Supreme Court, and I forget her name now.
Conjente Brown.
Yeah, she couldn't even say what a woman was. I mean,
I assume she's a reasonably intelligent person. She's being some might say she perjured herself because she's a liar. She knows what the difference between a man and a woman is. She's just playing games and being cutesy. And for that reason alone, she shouldn't be on the court.
As far as the GOP agenda, the best we could hope for right now is just stop the craziness.
Well, that would be, if you cut an artery, that's your first concern. Stop the bleeding. So
Yeah.
the GOP needs to kind of come up with a way of stopping the bleeding. But I'm hearing some stuff, and I love the guy, and you know this, Ted Cruz, but he's throwing out a lot of stuff that we would be for, but it just isn't going to happen. And it strikes me as grandstanding, like abolishing the
posturing.
IRS. I would love that. But there's got to be some function in government to collect taxes. It just doesn't have to be this one.
You almost have to wonder. I almost see it as the convenience of being able to posture without any real responsibility.
Yeah, it's and what was he wants term limits,
and
which for a long time I was against term limits, but I'm for them now.
I mean, and back when like Obama was president, and how the Republicans would take a stand against this and take a stand against that, and like an idiot, I believed them, only to see their true colors when Trump became president.
Well, how many times did they vote to strike down Obamacare? Like 53 over and over and over, when it meant nothing because they didn't have the votes and they knew it. So when it came time to do it, they didn't do it.
And then take that and reflect on that, and then apply it to today, and you can't help but wonder, think, suspect, theorize. They're just doing it again now.
Well, that's exactly what I have to think, and I'm going to include Senator Cruz in that. Like I said, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to put the idea out there. I don't know the man, but it's not going to happen. There's not going to be term limits. These creeps, without an Article 5 Convention of the States changing that, it's not going to happen. So let's talk about real quick, and put you on the spot here a little bit. What do you think the agenda should be? Can you give me 5 things that you think need to happen ASAP?
Something's got to be done about getting the elections under control.
Yep.
Until there's a handle on that, I don't think anything can be done.
The restoration of confidence in our elections is critical to this country's survival.
And my fear is we're beyond that now.
We might be. I'd also like to see the influx of immigrants who they're dying to turn into voters. That's got to stop. In fact, it's not only got to stop, but we got to round these people up and kick their ass out of here.
We're off topic here, but I've often wondered if, aside from the Democrats seeing these as potential Democrat voters, you got Social Security going bankrupt. Maybe they're thinking if we can get them legal and get them paying into the system, it'll continue to feed the system at least a little bit longer. You know what? That's just a guess. That's just a theory. I'm only trying to figure out why they're doing what they're doing.
Well, they're anti-American. You know that.
Yeah.
They want to destroy America as it is. And Barack Obama even said it. He wanted to fundamentally change this country. And if you understand the word fundamental, you understand it's from its foundation. You want to change that to something else. And what would he like to change it to? A European socialist state. And if you want to live like that, I'd take your ass to Europe, because I don't want to live like that. I want to be free. And if I win or I lose, it'll be on me. That's what I want.
Well, first things first, we got to get the elections under control.
I agree. Got to stop the illegal immigration.
And you know what? Everything beyond that is complete wishful thinking.
Well, yeah, stopping what's the influx, the invasion, and I'll call it that. That's because that's what it is. At the southern border has got to stop. We got to strengthen our position in the world again, because we have invited China to do their balloon things and maybe nuke us.
The one little glitch in their plans there, though, is these illegals start making a little bit of money. Do they continue being good little Democrat voters? And I'm not even sure that's really the case as much as they want it to be. You know, I mean, once people start seeing the benefits of once they start reaping the financial rewards, human nature is they want to keep it. They don't want to give it back. and that could be a little, and I confess perhaps a little bit of wishful thinking here, but you know, you know, we've got our share of Republican Latino office, politicians,
Yeah, but I think
and,
they
and
mostly come from places where there have been communism, like Cuba and Venezuela,
yeah,
where
yeah.
they know the score of the game.
But there's been other ones too, and I guess I'm just kind of hoping that they're here. They're not going back. I think it's only a matter of time before it all comes to fruition, we'll say. But I just hope that as they do, reap financial rewards, maybe common sense somehow hits them in the head. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, right now they're getting the reward and aren't doing a damn thing for it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll
So
grant you that.
they're a captive audience, so to speak. I'm going to wrap it up there because we've gone a little longer than I had hoped. But uh, the GOP better get a plan if they want people's votes. Otherwise, we're going to have another however long this clown lives. Have him as president again. They're going to pick another vice president because nobody can stand the cackling woman. So with that, I'll wrap it up. As we like to say on the MCR, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.